How does a tiny Pacific nation scattered across the heart of the Pacific Ocean become a global voice for our planet's future? What makes this remote chain of islands, with its turquoise lagoons and palm-fringed shores, so vital to the world's story? This is the story of Tuvalu, a nation where daily life is woven from the threads of tradition, community, and a deep connection to the sea. Here, families gather under the shade of coconut trees, children play in sandy lanes, and elders pass down wisdom that has guided generations. But beneath this tranquil surface, a crisis is unfolding. Rising seas threaten not just land but the very identity and history of Tuvalu's people. Homes are swallowed by saltwater, ancestral graves are washed away, and the coastline erodes with every storm. The waves that once brought life and sustenance are no longer soothing. They're a warning to the world, a relentless reminder that climate change is not a distant threat, but a present danger. Tuvalu's people, guardians of ancient traditions and vibrant culture, now face a crisis their ancestors could never have imagined. Their songs and dances echo with both pride and uncertainty, as they strive to preserve their heritage in the face of rising tides. Their leaders don't seek pity, but justice, standing before the world to demand shared responsibility and urgent action. They speak not just for Tuvalu, but for all vulnerable nations, urging global leaders to act before it's too late. What happens to Tuvalu today could happen to coastal communities everywhere tomorrow. The fate of this island nation is a warning and a lesson for us all. As we explore Tuvalu's journey, we see not just a sinking paradise, but a resilient culture fighting for survival. The spirit of Tuvalu endures in every act of hope, every rebuilt home, and every celebration of life. Tuvalu's struggle is a fight for the soul of our world, a call to protect not only a nation, but the future of humanity itself. Tuvalu's story begins with Polynesian explorers, masters of the sea, who navigated by stars, swells, and birds. They built a society rooted in kinship, oral tradition, and respect for nature. Each atoll developed its own identity, yet all shared language and culture. Their stories, songs, and genealogies preserved knowledge and history. Ties to Samoa and Tonga reinforced a sense of belonging in the vast Pacific. The ocean was their highway, not a barrier. Spiritual beliefs fostered conservation, fishing taboos, protected areas, and sustainable use of every resource. This ancient wisdom remains vital as Tuvalu faces new threats. Their legacy of sustainability is more relevant than ever. The 19th century brought dramatic change as Europeans arrived: traders, whalers, and missionaries. New goods and ideas disrupted traditional life, creating dependencies and pressures. Missionaries introduced Christianity, reshaping culture and suppressing some ancient practices. British colonial rule followed, merging Tuvalu with the culturally distinct Gilbert Islands. Colonial administration imposed foreign authority and new economic systems. Tuvaluans worked in phosphate mines, shifting from subsistence to a cash economy. Though British rule was lighter than elsewhere, it altered Tuvalu's political and social landscape. Seeds of a new identity and a desire for self-determination were sown. Within the colonial union, Tuvaluans felt marginalized and overlooked. Resources favored the Gilbert Islands, fueling a drive for self-determination. In the 1970s, a UN-observed referendum gave Tuvaluans a choice: remain united or go their own way. Over 92% chose independence, valuing culture and identity over economic certainty. On October 1, 1978, Tuvalu became a sovereign nation, one of the world's smallest. Independence sparked cultural pride and revitalization. The new flag, with 9 stars, symbolized unity and hope. Tuvaluans now face the challenge of building a nation and confronting the looming threat of climate change. Their journey was just beginning. Today, Tuvalu blends tradition with modernity. Fishing and pulaka farming remain central, while remittances from overseas workers support families. Many young Tuvaluans seek opportunity abroad, but the Kaiga, extended family, remains the heart of society. A digital twist, Tuvalu'S. TV internet domain brings in vital revenue, funding services, and climate adaptation. Despite global influences, Tuvaluan language and culture thrive. The Fatel dance is a living chronicle celebrating achievements and unity. In these shared moments, Tuvalu's resilience and joy shine brightest. The nation's spirit endures even as challenges mount. For the people of Tuvalu, climate change is not a distant threat or a problem for future generations, it's a daily reality that shapes every aspect of life. Nestled in the heart of the Pacific Ocean, Tuvalu's low-lying islands are on the front lines of a crisis that is unfolding in real time, affecting families, traditions, and the very land beneath their feet. Sea level rise is no longer just a scientific prediction here. It floods homes, erodes precious land, and threatens the very existence of these islands. Every year the ocean creeps closer, swallowing beaches and washing away memories, leaving communities to wonder how much longer their homeland will remain above water. King tides, once rare, now arrive with alarming frequency, bringing saltwater that destroys crops and contaminates the island's limited fresh water. Farmers struggle to grow food as their fields are poisoned by the sea, and families worry about what they will eat and drink tomorrow. As the land shrinks, resources become scarcer, families are forced to crowd together in ever tighter spaces, sharing what little they have. The sense of community grows stronger, but so do the challenges of daily life, as everyone must adapt to a world that is quite literally disappearing. Rainwater tanks, once a backup, are now essential for survival. But with changing weather patterns and longer droughts, even these lifelines are threatened. Water scarcity is a constant worry, and every drop is precious. In response, Tuvalu's leaders have become powerful voices on the world stage. They travel far from their tiny islands to demand urgent climate action, calling for emissions cuts and support for vulnerable nations. Their message is clear: the world must act now, before it's too late. Adaptation projects are underway, sea walls rise along the coast, and land elevation efforts offer hope. But these measures are costly and can only buy time. The threat of losing their homeland still looms large over every effort. Preparing for the worst, the government is exploring digital nationhood and dignified relocation, determined to preserve Tuvaluan identity and culture, even if the islands themselves are lost to the sea. Tuvalu's fight is not just for survival, it's a warning to the world. The resilience and determination of its people show what's at stake for all of us in the face of climate change. Their crisis is a call to action for us all. The fate of Tuvalu is a test of our global commitment to justice, compassion, and the future of our planet. Despite facing existential threats from rising seas and climate change, the people of Tuvalu draw unwavering strength from their deep-rooted culture and the bonds of their close-knit community. Their daily lives are shaped by traditions passed down through generations, and these customs provide a sense of belonging and purpose even in the face of uncertainty. The Fatel dance, the melodic Tuvaluan language, and the Kaiga family system are more than just cultural practices. They are living symbols of resilience, unity, and pride. Through music, dance, and storytelling, Tuvaluans celebrate their heritage and reinforce the values that have sustained them for centuries. Social bonds in Tuvalu are woven tightly, creating a network of support that is often more valuable than material wealth. Families and neighbors care for one another, sharing resources and wisdom, ensuring that no one is left behind, especially in times of hardship. The ocean, both a source of sustenance and a looming threat, is central to Tuvaluan identity. Their spiritual connection to the sea is profound, shaping their worldview and traditions, even as its rising tides now threaten their very existence. Faith and a deep sense of stewardship for their land and waters fuel the determination of Tuvaluans to protect their homeland. Through prayer, community action, and environmental stewardship, they find hope and strength to face the challenges ahead. Tuvalu's story is not just one of tragedy or loss, it is a powerful lesson in courage, hope, and the enduring human spirit. The smiles of Tuvaluan children and the optimism of their youth are testaments to a community that refuses to give up. On the world stage, Tuvaluans raise their voices for climate justice and global accountability. Their advocacy is a call to action, urging nations everywhere to recognize the urgent need for change and to stand in solidarity with vulnerable communities. Tuvalu's fight is not only for its own survival, but for a world where every culture is valued and protected. Their struggle reminds us that the fate of small island nations is intertwined with the future of humanity as a whole. In their ongoing struggle, the people of Tuvalu light the way toward a more just, compassionate, and sustainable future for all. Their legacy is a beacon of hope, inspiring the world to act with courage and unity.